All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Ropeadope TV here at the Ropeadope Room in East Philadelphia. We're going to call this the Fry or Die episode.
Jesus.
We're in the Ropeadope Room, and there's not a tornado warning.
Flash flood warning.
But there's a flash flood warning, and a storm's just rolling in. So if it gets noisy, the power goes out. We'll see you after. And if you see us get up and run, you know what happened.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
I'm here with Mr. Fabian Brown,
Lewis,
my co-host. We are on episode 11, and tonight we're going to dig into some music that's coming up on Ropeadope over the next few months. We're going to kick it off with a very unique album.
Yes.
From Ms. Yazz Ahmed. And of course, I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's very hard to say.
I thought that was good.
Ahmed. It's, we did our best. We'll keep practicing. Unique record, British and Bahraini. I mispronounced that just now too. And she's got a wonderful album that centers around women's empowerment.
Yep.
Tracks are titled Ruby Bridges as an example, and there are many more. And the story begins with this track due out this week. Fits the mood.
Interested in collaborating than showing off was the quote, the pull quote from The Guardian in regards to Yazz. And what do you got to say about that?
Well, I like the way that she turned it and said women are more interested in collaborating than showing off, rather than saying men are only interested in showing off. So she sort of turned that and brought it to her side and made it more powerful. The showing off part for men is somewhat implied, but at least it's not a direct, it's not oppositional. It's forward motion.
I like that. So very Arabic? Is that a word? Arabic?
Yeah.
Vibe with the rhythms.
From her heritage in Bahrain.
That's correct. Yeah. And even with the tonality of the record, I mean, this one was, for me, an interesting dig into. I'm just not really used to hearing the mix of genres coming in here, and I don't know, I found it to be amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing what people think about the album. A lot of press already around what she's doing, and I'm excited to hear what other people think about it, man, to be honest with you.
You got to dig in. As I mentioned as we came in, she references 5 or 6 different women who have history Both in the podcast interview we talk about it, but it comes from there's a whole narrative that comes. There's a vinyl edition of this record with a 12-page booklet. It's a real. She's known for creating really unique deluxe packaging, and the booklet describes each song and why Ruby Bridges and the others on the album. So that I don't want to give too much away. That'll unfold as time goes by. But it's dedicated to some very powerful women and at different moments in history.
You know, it's a great addition to the already existing powerful women that we find here on the Ropeadope catalog. Sarah Elizabeth Charles,
Lakeisha Benjamin,
Steph Tom,
Crown,
Stephanie
We've got
McKay.
some Crown coming up next, by the way.
Oh, I love that. Stephanie McKay. The list really goes on and on. I'm interested because I don't even know this story. It's always, the who's of who of Ropeadope. How does Yazz, is it an email that comes in your inbox? Is it a referral from somebody else? How does she land here?
How does she land here? Yeah. I mean, I think we're past the point where everything comes through referral as it has in the past.
Right.
I'm sure that Yazz is friendly with several Ropeadope artists, so the conversation is out there. But definitely her manager said, this is, and it was really, really nice email. Like, we have options.
Right.
But Ropeadope is Yazz's first choice.
That's awesome.
I don't know if she said first choice, but Ropeadope is what Yazz is most interested in. So that is always bound to catch my eye and ear. I mean, what I like a lot is when people actually read the about section of Ropeadope website, because it describes a lot of what our mission is. You hear it every day. A lot of people don't. I mean, we say it and we mean it, and people respond to that. And we are really trying to build community around that. So we have another artist, a band from Italy called Notespeak.
Okay.
Lisa Marie Simmons, and she sent an email in without an introduction from anyone else or a connection, and said she actually quoted my words in the about section and said, "This speaks to me. I want to talk to you about the label." So I want people to know that we're in this interesting territory now where so many artists have a message.
Yeah.
They feel they're motivated by the times. The times really demand these kinds of statements about different issues that we're all facing. And the goal of each artist is to sort of turn the issue into something beautiful. That's the art part, but also as an individual with a voice, with a microphone, they're trying to send a message out to people and share powerful, positive music.
Yep.
In one way or another, whether it's with lyrics or without, and not just to sell it, not to sell it so much, but as to, here's what's in my heart. I want to put it out and see if it can help other people get through these difficult times. And so as a part of that, our methodology is shifting a little bit. There's a Women of Ropeadope Facebook group.
You beat me to it.
There you go. And the goal there is to be able to kind of get the music directly to people who are involved on a daily basis, not just affected by, but actually involved in organizing around maybe female political candidates. It could be female inmate programs at prisons. Could be, any one of the fronts where women are facing challenges, which is many. And it's a really interesting thing because we're not really selling music anymore. Someone said to me yesterday, I was thinking of putting my music out for free, like my back catalog. And I said, well, if you put it on Spotify, you're kind of putting it out for free. Right? Because somebody's already built in, like, this is really fascinating because it's a shift in the way we think about the process of the whole thing. And it's a beautiful thing because now, if we go into on Facebook and we find a Black Lives Matter group, for example.
Okay.
Right? In the past, you might say, well, here's this amazing song from Christian Scott and Vic Mensa, which speaks of this struggle.
Sure.
Or I Can't Breathe from Vivian Sessoms. And if you go into that group and drop the iTunes buy link in there, everybody's like, come on, man. You know, this is serious business. What are you doing? They might dig the song, and the song's right on point.
Right.
And the artist's intent is right on point. But you're still trying to sell something, right? So streaming has inadvertently somehow put us in this, like, not straight, overt buying situation. So you're like, hey, here's a song I dig. If you're subscribed already, great.
Right.
Or you have your free tier of ad-supported. So you don't actually have to take any money out of your pocket the minute that you see it, right? So it really kind of opens up the dialogue a little more to just be like, you know, here's Yazz Ahmed, and here's an album that she has out. Thought you might enjoy it.
Well, that brings up a lot of things in my mind.
But first,
Definitely taking back off of that one. Listen with some headphones, man. That's what you got to do.
yeah, I didn't notice that until just now. My first comment about the song is it'll get stuck in your head, and you just gotta be careful where you sing. Like you know how sometimes you just like unconsciously start singing the song out loud.
Yeah.
At your house, like you could really get the timing wrong on this with those lyrics. I'm tired of waiting for you because I got shit
to do.
True or not, you could get into it with that.
So I want to come back to what you had just said, but first, you know, a lot of conversations go on, a lot of communication behind the scenes. Again, not just about the release of the music and how we're going to sell it, but, you know, how we're going to market it, how we're going to talk about it, right? So I reached out to Steph, and I said, hey, listen, Crown. I reached out to Crown, and I said, listen, can you just give me a sentence or two on what this track means to you so I understand and I can help communicate that with everyone that I'm talking with, right? So I'm just going to read this.
Please.
Let me get my... Okay, there we go. A visual journey through the many transatlantic words Crown occupies the official music video for Shit to Do. It's framed like an old school karaoke number reinforcing the very words and necessity of the singable anthem. A reminder to us all to not let anyone steer you off course. Shit to Do is an ode to self-love and self-recognition, inspired by fuckboys from ghosting time wasters to the
patriarchy at large.
This song is about appreciating your own greatness. Dude.
So she's not talking about waiting for you at a given moment when you're headed out to work.
No.
She's talking about waiting for you to get your shit together. And she means she might mean us.
Right. And living...
Collective men, it's possible.
But also a call, I think, maybe my interpretation, to women, like, look, recognize that greatness inside of you.
Yep.
You don't gotta wait for this or that or the other thing.
For a dude. Or for a partner, even. Just
Correct.
do your thing.
Appreciate your own your own greatness, man.
I was still in the micro version of that because that particular micro thing happens to me pretty often. I move pretty quickly, and I always seem to be waiting for somebody.
So the lyric, I got what you're saying.
I live a mile from here, and there's at least 3 people I'm waiting for just to get to work.
That's a different podcast and video story.
This is really interesting. That is, and if you're a fan, you recognize that voice right away from Los Lobos. That is David Hidalgo, singer-songwriter, both with Los Lobos and in his own right. And some people might say that that's an unusual track for us to have. I mean, I know the catalog well, so I know that we do have some good old roots Americana music on the label.
Well, I was going to ask a question.
I'm all ears.
And fingers and toes and eyes. Okay. I've been hanging with you for a while, right? So I'm not surprised when you put a music set together and things just come together really nicely. Where was your mind at when you came from the last track to this track to where we're going? What's the bridge? What's the common denominator? What's the theme?
It's to be discovered. No, it's just, you saw it come through the feed last night. It was like 1, this song, 2, 3, we need to go here. Obviously, it starts with, what albums are coming up that we want to share with people in an unreleased setting. But why did I pick the particular track, especially off this album? Because I could have gone into the musical thing and say what song would follow Shit's Due Fast.
Right.
But I really wanted to. I think this is one of the standout tracks on that album. But also, there's some just. When I do that, it's just. It's fast. You know what I mean? And then you come back and you know that, the old saying, like your first feeling is your best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
go
like
with your
that.
instinct.
Yeah, just
go with
pure instinct, and then somehow it all works out. And where it doesn't, we talk it through and make it connect. Do you see some connection in the two?
I thought you were going for some kind of lyrical tie. That's what I initially had thought, but maybe I'm off. But that's okay, because it's a good segue for my first point I wanted to make. You're talking about, and this is maybe a moment for all the independent artists that are I have a feeling that our channel attracts a lot of musicians, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of independent artists that aren't on Ropeadope the label. So you moments ago said that it's not about selling the music. Put it on Spotify, it's like giving that shit away for free anyway, right? So
right. Well, it's free to the person who's already subscribed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So as a call to action or as some advice for independent artists, what would you say if that's the thought process going into it? What can they be doing to get that music out there, or to connect with their audience? What should they be doing?
What?
They're coming to get me.
The police are coming to. Yeah. Those questions. It's like, no, you can't
get this guy.
I don't want to empower artists. They're coming in. Don't worry, the door's locked.
Okay.
We're in the compound. Yeah, we just kind of went in a completely different direction, but I'm cool. I can process this.
Just one thing.
I think in general that, music is incidental to our lives. So, and you hate to say this to an artist, but your music is kind of incidental to who you are, right? Mm. So, really, what you want to be doing is presenting yourself on a regular basis and using the music as part of that. And it doesn't mean to say that the golden age of recorded music is over. It's just, still record it well. Let's hope we keep power here. Still record it well, and we'll come back and see what historically lasts, right?
Interesting.
Make a good quality recording. But it's not the end game, it's the beginning. So you can put your music out in a lot of ways, but you also have to present yourself in a lot of different ways as well.
That was more for me than for anybody else. Thank you. I wanted to hear you break that down. Who do we got up?
Well, I want to go back and just quickly explain that the David Hidalgo track is from the Windows on the World soundtrack. First time we've actually released an album before a movie came out. It's a new thing. Like, here's the music from the movie. I urge everybody to look for the movie Windows on the World. I haven't seen the full thing yet. I've only seen some clips.
Right.
But it's winning awards at film festivals, and it's about immigration right after 9/11. And so David Hidalgo's on there. David Sanchez is in the soundtrack as well. And some others, also Abiodun Oyewole from The Last Poets. So take a look for that. And then I keep thinking about your question, why this track? So this is an interesting record from Tim Reese, best known currently as saxophone player with the Rolling Stones for the last 20 years.
Yep.
Tim recorded this album, and if you could pull it up and talk about, the personnel on the record, it's pretty stunning.
Well, now that our Wi-Fi is down, I'm not sure how much...
The Wi-Fi's gone? All right. We lost power, folks. It was a blip. That's why the cameras have batteries. Powerful players, but we just heard Bella's Lullaby, which is a song sung by one of his daughters, and he has these family stories interspersed with the music that he recorded, and he calls the album Life Changes because it's exactly that.
I love the cover art of that album, by the way.
Beautiful art, and then the packaging that went around it. And enough of this somber. I think the rain's moving out. Time to get a little bit upbeat here.
Oh, a little bit.
We go from the film to
vaudeville?
To Broadway. Yeah, that's it. Another super unique band, Mwenso and the Shakes.
Horns, what you say?
Horns, what you say? One more time.
That's what we say. Sweet thing, you're my only one. 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 What'd you say, boo? Sweet. Darling, I want you. I need you. I want you. I need you. I want you. I need you.
We have to get up to the Newport Jazz Fest because these guys are playing, I believe, Saturday. And I'm
That's
dying.
August 2nd?
August 2nd or the 3rd. I forget what the
I
Saturday
go on
is.
vacation on the 3rd. Maybe I'll have to go. I don't know. It's gonna be a little tough. Newport Jazz Fest and a 40-city tour, I think, from this band, Mwenso and the Shakes. Hate to just rely on a hook, but
ahead.
there's video out there of Michael Mwenso dancing on stage with James Brown in London. And it's not just that. If you know anybody around James Brown Band and around Mr. Brown circles, right? Improvisation and unexpected things are not what happens. People have been fired
Yes,
for even the slightest bit of improvisation,
that's correct.
right? And yet he invited this 12-year-old kid, Michael Mwenso, up on stage to do a thing. I don't think it was rehearsed. I think it was truly a genuine moment. And but he brings. I still don't understand it. The changes, the tempo changes, the style, the theater of it all, the way they all look.
Oh my God,
He's got a tap dancer on stage.
he's living it, man. This is. Again, this is why I had to see these guys live. Any video that you see
you're right.
them out there, even in the damn recording studio videos of them, you're like, I need to be in that room experiencing fucking everything that's going on.
Yeah, what it feels like to me is that they're in tune with something so new and fresh and exciting that I know it doesn't sound like anything I've heard, and I kind of want to walk away from it, but I can't because they're so excited about it, and I have to learn what it is that makes this so exciting. And it's all classic stuff, like they hit 10 decades of style in one song.
Just when you think you know where it's going, it doesn't go there, but you're like, wow, I'm glad it did go there, that spot. It's this album is going to blow people's minds away, my opinion. Again, can't really wait to hear what others are thinking.
We got to go to Newport, huh? Everybody come on up and see us at Newport Jazz Fest.
Because their album releases on the 2nd, so their show is on the 3rd. So this is coming out August 2nd. And
yeah,
man.
We should do it old school. Just take the records up in the trunk.
So I'm on the back of the van.
The car, and bring them up to the.
I am so down. Could we bring the girls?
Fats Waller.
We're making grilled cheese sandwiches and shots of Jim Beam too, or
Jim Beam.
I'm going back to my. That's what we were doing. No, what were you guys? 19 years old. Grilled cheese sandwiches, Jim Beam? No.
I just want to remind the audience this is Ropeadope TV. Please disregard any cheap whiskey statements.
I went back.
This is quality. This is a quality record label, so it's okay. It's okay.
I went back. It was 19.
I get it. Yeah, I'm good.
Still good memories though.
Talk about quality whiskey. So this is another off track. So going back to your question earlier, like what happens? This is a great album. Charles Owens Trio and Charles Owens 13, which is basically Andrew Randazzo's big band.
Yep.
And they cover a lot of material, and the records are coming out together. The 3 and 13 is the name of it, right? So they're coming out together. And it covers a lot of ground. You can imagine with just the trio and also the big band, right?
It's heavy, man.
But it also covers a lot of ground in like the style of the songs that they play. And I just kind of honed in on this one just being so like flowing, a little moody, kind of reminded me a little bit of the intro at the beginning of the show with Yazz's track.
I like it.
And I like the emotion there in his. I can feel. What he's saying right now.
He's so funny. Sorry, I got distracted by the amazing fucking tone.
Right.
Here's what I appreciate.
You're a sax player.
Yeah, here's what I appreciate, right?
Yeah.
So, because sax players are notorious for right, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Because you can facilitate all that stuff. But I think what separates one cat from the next is their sound, is their tone, is their voice.
Right.
And in this track particularly, Charles is putting it all up front for everyone to appreciate that side of him. Unmistakable tone.
I don't have that experience that you have, but I can say I can hear his breath, and I can feel some of that pain, whatever it is, bro. I got you. You know what I mean? Reminds me a bit. Actually, Jared Sims has somewhat of the same ability to have that human feeling come through.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And also, isn't that what we all fell in love with jazz back in the first place,
The melodies.
We watched The Simpsons, right? It's a sad time on the wrong side of town, He suffered for his art, And we're all human. We can all experience that.
Him and Lisa. Oh man, what a great show, great playlist, Lewis.
It's not hard, man. They just send.
Do you hear that? Okay. Listen, don't forget to subscribe. Ring that bell for the notifications and all that good stuff. Share with your friends. Leave some comments.
Subscriptions help us.
They do.
They really do. We want our audience to come closer. Everybody kind of step in a little bit.
Yeah.
Dance. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
No.
Come on. Let's gather around the Ropeadope and the community of artists, because we're nothing more than just a little flame in front of all this greatness, right? So the more people who come around and subscribe and connect with us, the easier it is for these people who are literally pouring their lives into the music. So. where can they do it? Right on the YouTube channel, subscribe.
Yeah,
right?
and follow us on social media, man. You know, all these releases are coming up here. You know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything Ropeadope.
Mixcloud,
Mixcloud.
podcasts, interviews with artists, Spotify playlists,
Yep.
Apple Curator under Ropeadope. Just kind of tune in.
Yeah, everywhere you think.
Will not be disappointed.
No. Thanks, Lewis. We need another drink.
And it's not going to be a Jim Beam.
Oh, come on. I was 19 years old.